Welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Startz. With me today is South Dakota-based rapper, songwriter, and producer, Boo Boo. Welcome to the show, brother.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, this is great, man. I love connecting with other musicians in my home state of South Dakota. So before we get too far down the love fest here, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and we'll keep it rolling.
So I make rap music. Obviously, I'm a rapper. I try to do more positive and try to push positivity, and I like to make people smile with my music. And I'm trying to put on get on to more charity shows than the one I'm on, and I also want to put some on myself. And it's really what I'm trying to do right now while I'm
Nice,
working on
man.
my
Well,
album.
well, yeah. Have you hooked up with my boy Secret Veda yet?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be at Hip Hop for Hunger April 12th in Sioux Falls.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Love it. Love what he's been building to get out there. And if we're gonna get together, we should be doing it for a cause. And that's
Yeah,
something we kind of started with our songwriter showcase where me and Secret got together and doing it to raise money. If we're all gonna be getting together to fill these, but I don't even drink anymore, right? So for me to go and to want to do a show and to hang out in a bar, like it's so far beyond just like my own performance for me. I've been doing this for a long time, Boo Boo. How long you been in the game, brother?
I've actually, for performing, I just started last year when I opened for OG Mako in March before he passed away. But I've been releasing since I was 16, so about 5 years now.
Awesome. Oh, you're a young fella. Look at
Yeah,
you. Well, and that's why guys like me and Secret, especially, we're the OGs, man. We've been at this for decades, and trying to bring in and to teach this new generation coming along of how we're gonna do it from now on. The game's all changed. Ain't nobody getting record deals and getting famous in that way. It's all about the community that you can build and what you can do to bring some positivity to not just your music, but to your community and to your life and to other people's
yeah,
lives. And I think I mean, it's a vibe. Everybody's on it right now, and it feels really good to be in it.
yeah. It feels great just to be able to do these things, like good things, and be able to push this positivity that I'm working on with my album. And I'm excited because I'm trying to put on my own benefit shows and things around here, trying to get into contact with the owner of Shooter's Bar in Watertown, see what we can do here.
Yeah, man. Well, and you're going to, right? And you're going to be learning from some of the best, definitely around in this area that are doing it, and people that just don't stop. Even if we're not the best at it, we don't consider that a detriment. It just means that we still got work to do. And at least for myself, like that's what excites me about life in general is that I can get better. Yeah, we're good now, but we can get better. And that's something that I know, Secret is doing and pushing. And people like Jenica Hauser as well, who's Half Dead and Guardian Angel is the name of their group. They've been doing this a long time, putting shows together, going on tour. And now we all kind of feel like as we're all getting a little bit older, I think we're all, late 30s, early 40s, some of us, that it's our job to kind of work with these younger acts, right? That are in there, some of them are teenagers still, like my boy Lil Devro. And gentlemen like yourself, 21 years old, that you have that want to do something and you're seeing the benefit of doing it in a positive light. I think that means a lot more. When we were growing up, it was all about chasing fame and money and I don't know, it got sour on all of us, right? And it led us to the same point that you're at now, but you got 18 years, you're an adult younger than I am, man.
Yeah. And the thing is, I like the ability to learn, grow, and improve. And what I'm really trying to do here is yeah, I have some lines about getting money and fame, but I'm really in it for my passion and love of the music. I've always loved making music. I mean, ever as long as I can remember, I've been singing or messing with instruments.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, what are some of your influences and what does the music sound like?
So I mean, influences music wise, what pushed me towards this more positive aspect would be older Mod Sun and older Mac Miller music, and also Nubs for the newer age ones. They really kind of inspired me to try and be more positive with my life and change what I was doing because I definitely was not making a positive impact on my community or the people around me for a long time.
Me neither. And even if my music didn't reflect that, my life did. A little about me: I did a couple years in prison for, I mean, selling weed, but I was still a drug dealer. I wasn't having a positive effect on my community, and not that I was, killing people or anything, but it wasn't doing any good in my life, and it wasn't doing any good really in anyone else's lives. And obviously, it's a lot different now as we have a medical program in South Dakota, and it's pretty much put drug dealers out of business across the state. But I feel that, and I commend you for at a young age, accepting that and wanting to make a difference now.
Yeah, because I don't want to wait too long to make a difference with who I am. You wait too long, people aren't going to accept any change of who you are. And I want to be seen as a good person because I am a good person. I want to be a good person and make a positive impact, not in just my community, but like everywhere.
That's awesome, man. So you got a little bit of you got some shows. We talked about April 12th coming up. You're looking to get more going on. What, we're gonna get you tapped into the Midwest Original Music Organization, Momo. That's my own org that we're forming right now to support artists like you and to bring and grow that community. But what's your big goals for the rest of 2025?
My big goals, I mean, there's small goals to a lot of people, but like I want to get to like 1,000 followers on each of my pages, something like that. Like I'm not close to that, but I want to be there at the end of the year.
Hey, we all start somewhere, man. We got 200 subscribers, a little over on our YouTube page, and I tell you what, that's a vast improvement from the 12 it was at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah,
And the 18,000 views that will pass this week is a huge number compared to less than 1,000 at the beginning of the year. So it's all just perspective. Nothing happens overnight, and when you're not in it to go viral and you're not making content for that reason, it's different, right? Like, I'm not trying to make anything that I do to just capture lightning in a bottle one time. I'm trying to be the storm, right?
yeah,
And I'm trying to build this and to be that rising tide that raises all the ships, and not waiting for our tide to come in. And that takes a lot more work. And
yeah,
a lot of it is, I won't say thankless, because I get a lot of love, not just in our music community, but now in the podcast community as well. But it's a lot of hard work, man. And a lot of it is behind the scenes and not glamorous, man. I mean, I spend most of my days in front of this same camera and computer screen, talking to strangers and clicking away.
yeah. I mean, I spend my days doing the same thing without the camera and the talking to strangers. I'm just clicking away and typing all the time. I mean, it's all work, but you know, I guess here in South Dakota right now, we are like everyone that's really doing it is like the tide rising to build what the future ships will ride on, because we don't
Yeah.
have a music scene here really. We're building it as we
Brother, that's
speak.
how the podcast got its name, right? Everybody's like, man, there's so many good musicians in Sioux Falls or around in the area in South Dakota, but there's no scene. There's no scene. There, I was like, you know what? There is now. And the reason it became the projects is because I had so many things. We kind of talked off camera about all the new networks that I'm building. I got a sports network. I got like a news and conspiracy network. We have a show called Get Better Together, where we just share those stories that most people don't talk about, right? Opportunity for me to talk about my addiction issues and, my prison time, and to bring all of that and tell in-depth stories where, this show especially is just a little get to know you, bring you on, let people, see if they vibe with you real quick. And then we can always talk again, right? Like, it's so easy to connect these days through the internet, through, platforms like this and Riverside especially. But podcasts are the future, brother. So I hope I can convince you to start your own podcast. And if you're going to be in front of that computer, man, you might as well click it on and have some conversations.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking me and my friend were talking about doing like it'd be like an interview podcast. It'd be every Friday, it'd be freestyle Fridays where we'd end up like at some point putting on some of my beats and the guest would just get to go crazy on some of my unused beats.
That sounds like a great idea, and I'm going to help you in whatever way I can get that up off the ground, brother. You got it. Boo Boo, why don't you tell everybody where they can find your music and yeah, so they can check you out online.
You can find my music on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, and Apple currently.
All under the moniker Boo Boo.
Yes, sir.
I love it, man. Well, everybody make sure you're getting on, giving him a follow, listening to his music. And Boo Boo, thanks for being part of the scene.
Thanks for having me on.